Hello and welcome back to my channel. So today in this little wig 101 video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to make your own 6x6 closure unit. So that's going to include putting the closure down, getting the tracks on and plucking it a little. So if you want to know how to make your own 6x6 closure wig, stay tuned. So first off, let's talk about what you're going to need. So you're going to need your own canvas head. I got mine from Amazon. I'm a 21, so I get a 21-inch head. You're going to need a spandex dome cap, some curved needles, and you're also going to need some T-pins. I just forgot to record them, but you can easily get them off Amazon. I'll have everything linked down below. So what you're going to want to do now is position your wig cap on your dome head. I always make sure that when I'm positioning it, I pull the back down and add my pins. Today we're working with Wiggins hair. So this is their 6x6 transparent lace closure with, I bleached the knots myself, and it's the loose deep wave texture. Look at it. The hair was so nice. Like, I love this wig. Till this day the wig is bomb. So yeah, Wiggins loose deep wave hair we're going to be working with. So as you can see, I just pulled the back down on the cap just to make sure that when I'm sewing the cap doesn't get smaller. And then what I like to do is I put the closure on the cap and I make sure I put it like an inch in front of the wig cap. That's just so we can go for this frontal look. So I pin it down, make sure that it's good. I pin it down in the front and then you'll see me pin it down in the back. When I pin it down in the back, I kind of part the hair so I can make sure that it's flat all the way through. I want to make sure there's no bumps or nothing. And it's really important to make sure that when you're sewing your closure down and pinning it down, you don't want there to be no bumps in your closure, because when there's bumps, it's not going to lay as flat as it could potentially be. And it's okay to adjust. Like, I always adjust because I feel like I'm OCD with everything I do. So I just adjust and adjust until I think, yeah, this is gonna fit perfectly. That will come with time though. So the more you do it, the more you'll know what you're trying to look for. So once I pin down all 4 corners, I look at the sides and I like to make sure that the sides are flat as well. So what I do is I'll turn it to the side and you see how it's kind of lifted. We don't want that. So I just take the front and I pull it a little bit more towards the front, and you'll see the closure will lay a lot flatter. So that's how you want to do it. You want to position it so every single corner, every single edge is flat on the canvas head. You don't want it to be bumpy or nothing like that. So I would say my sewing method is kind of easy. So what I do is I'll thread the needle through the lace, the thick band part, and then I will put the needle through itself, so like a little gap, and then I will sew. I think I sew under. Yeah, I don't sew over, I sew under. So I'll put the needle under and then I will put it through like the lace itself, and it creates its own knot. I think it's easier for me to show you than to say it, but yeah. And when you're sewing in your closure down, you want to make sure that it's like close together. You don't want to have big spaces between each what do you call it, like each time you thread. You don't want to have loads of spaces between each thread. I don't know what to call it, but yeah, so you see how neat it is. Like, you want to make sure it's neat, and make sure you're sewing it tight, because you don't want your thread to come loose, then your closure's flying off and your wig is just not lasting, because your wig should basically last you a very long time. Like, obviously lace gets bold, but yeah, it should last you a long time. And make sure when you're threading towards the front, don't thread through the elastic band in the cap, just thread through the material, because that's gonna make your wig smaller. So avoid doing that. Make sure you thread through the material and not the elastic at the front. So once you've done that side, because I work in sides, I don't go all the way around, I just do one side at a time. You just want to knot your thread, so I just basically do 2 normal knots and then cut it and boom, good to go. And then I did that on the other side as well. And making a wig, it's really a repetitive thing, so you have to have some patience. Obviously it's gonna get a bit irritating, sometimes you'll thread knots up and stuff like that, but it's a repetitive process, so just trust in the process, sis, because the wig is gonna turn out good in the end. So now you've got your closure all set out. I'm gonna go in and add my first track. So this, I think the longest length I got was 26, so this is my 26-inch bundle. So what you see me doing right now is I put the 26-inch bundle, I put a track all around the perimeter, and I do that because I literally want the hair to fall in my face, so it's kind of gonna hide your little edges when the wind blows. So I try and sew directly on the edge, and I try and make sure the track is kind of positioned on the edge. I don't try and do it too high on the wig cap, I literally want it on the edge, right in the perimeter, and I'm still sewing underneath. So I'm sewing underneath. This video is kind of for people that know how to sew, so it's not too beginners, but if you guys want a video on different ways to sew, I could probably do that for you guys. But yeah, I sew underneath and then I just kind of keep going around. And the first track, I do always cut it, so yeah, I do cut the first track. I know people don't like cutting their wefts or whatever, but if that hair's gonna shed, it's gonna shed, sweetie, so just cut your weft. It's not that serious. To be fair, Wiggins hair, I've used them before and their wefts are very strong, so I don't worry about cutting their wefts at all because their wefts are strong to me. So yeah, I keep going. I'm gonna cut them bad babies. So once I've done the first perimeter track, you're good to go. And I just make sure I knot the end so it doesn't unravel. And still, I make sure I don't go through the elastic band. When I'm around this point, I don't go through the elastic band, because if you go through the elastic band, it's just going to make your wig tighter, and yeah, it's not going to be comfortable when you're wearing it. So once again, I cannot stress this enough. Do not go through the elastic band. Now we're gonna start putting in the bundles. So I double my wefts just because I had 4 bundles of the loose deep wave and I wanted all of them bundles in. When I saw this hair, I said, yeah, we need body, we need bundles. So we're putting all 4 bundles in there. So what I did was I doubled my wefts, and I do so when I put my needle through, I put it through the weft and then I put it through the end right by where the knot is, and that kind of knots itself, it kind of holds it. And then from that point onwards, I just go under, wrap the thread around, and then keep going. So under, wrap the thread around and pull, under, wrap the thread around and pull. Bingo. I'm not going to keep talking through it because it's repetitive. I feel like I'm the type of person where if I look after you've told me, then I can understand. So I hope everybody else understands. And when I double my wefts, this is how I leave one track, I leave it and I carry on with the other. So the top track, I just leave it and I carry on with the bottom track. Then I flip that one over and then I pick up the second track, if that makes any sense. I'm going to do it again so hopefully you guys understand. But yeah, what I do is I leave the track that's at the top and carry on with the track that's at the bottom, and then flip it over, and then yeah, it will double again. And you'll notice that on the sides of your wigs, it's not going to be so bulky because it will only be one track there. And here I am. I think I'm gonna flip the weft again. So I dropped the track that was at the top, as you can see, carried on with the one at the bottom, and then what you're gonna see me do now is I'm gonna flip it over. So I'll go through the weft to flip it over. Come on. See, these wefts are strong, but like the thread didn't want to go through. And then when I'm sewing back that way, I'll pick up the track that I dropped. I hope this makes sense to you guys. I really do. Like, I know you guys ain't stupid, but I'm not the best when it comes to describing stuff, so that's why I gotta make these videos so you guys can see what I'm talking about and see that there's method behind the waffle. So there's no like special method that I use when it gets to the top of the wig. I just try and go as close to the closure as I can, but I don't go through the actual closure. It's important that you don't go through the actual closure, because if you ever want to replace your closure or anything like that, you need to make sure you didn't sew on top of it. So just try and sew as close to it as you can, but don't actually sew through it. And that's also like with your frontals or anything, don't actually sew through it. Like, don't sew a track to the closure or to the frontal, because if you ever want to replace it, it's just going to be so hard for whoever's replacing it for you. When you're getting to the top, you're going to find that you're probably going to have a gap at the back, and then the sides will fill up a lot quicker. I don't know why that always happens to me. I know people that it doesn't happen to, but the way I sew it always happens. But I don't mind. So basically I'll close the gap on the sides first, and it will involve me having to cut the weft. So yeah, we're cutting wefts again. And then once I've filled it up on the sides and made sure that, you know, it's all good on the sides, then I will go in and I will fill the back. And I do have another video on how I made a 4x4 closure wig. In that video you can see that I drew lines. If you find it easier to draw lines on your wig, I would suggest you do that, so you can know where you're going to position your wefts, because I've been doing it quite a long time, so when I do it I don't mind, it's easy for me. But if you're someone who like finds it hard to figure out where to position their next weft, literally just draw lines. Like, you're not going to see the lines, it's just going to make it a lot easier for you, and it will save so much time. So finally the wig is done. This probably took me like an hour and a half to make in total. So what I did was I just cut the wig cap out from underneath and then placed it back on the wig head, and now I'm gonna get ready to pluck this bad baby. So I'm not going to do it in detail how I pluck, but this is just basically what I do. As you can see, the hairline is quite harsh, so I just go in like randomly and I try and get rid of the harsh line. I try not to work too much in the center, so I kind of match up my closure to the center of the doll head, so you can see like a line that runs through the middle. I don't go too close to that line, and I basically just work on the kind of V points of my head, so the inner corners, and I just get rid of the harsh lines, and then I keep going in and seeing, is that thin enough? I need to take out more, do I not? And yeah, that's basically how I do it. And because I bleached the knots so well, it didn't take a lot of plucking like this wig bob, this lace bob. I'm gonna show you how it looks when I installed it. It does have a 6-inch parting space, so it's super flat for a closure. Like, I love this hair and I love this wig. So here you can see me installing it. I just installed this with Got To Be glue, by the way, and I just added some tint to the lace, and yeah, no stacking cap, no nothing. So if you guys enjoyed this video, let me know. All the links to the hair will be in the description box, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.